Anin, Bojo, Sarah Hazel Dijnakas, Nabizing Donjaba. Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Hazel and I'm from Nipissing First Nation. Currently, I am also a member of the Canadian Archaeological Association's working group on unmarked graves, and I'm also developing training to facilitate communities' search for missing children who died or went missing from Indian residential schools. This video will focus on archival research that will be useful for communities pursuing or thinking of pursuing unmarked graves investigations in the search for missing children. Before we get started, it is important to take care of yourself emotionally and mentally because unmarked graves investigations can bring up distressing content. Please make sure you have health supports in place, or you can call one of the numbers on the slide if you are feeling triggered and you can speak to a health professional. Please take care of yourself. What is archival research? Archival research is the search of different kinds of stored information by organizations, institutions, governments, and more. These records may take many forms, including photos, diaries, letters, ledgers, reports, and maps, to name a few. In many cases, the most valuable information concerning unmarked graves will derive from archival sources, and archival research should be considered a significant line of inquiry into the investigation of missing children. The NCTR has demonstrated that missing children can be found through archival research. While this will undoubtedly be distressing for team members tasked with conducting archival research, as well as temporally laborious, additional benefits of archival research are that it can often be conducted in a safe environment like one's own home or workplace, rather than having to spend time traveling and on costly accommodations, and it is non-invasive. One of the most important collections of information concerning missing children is managed by the National Commission for Truth and Reconciliation. The NCTR is tasked with making 104 religious repositories available to communities conducting unmarked graves investigations. There are a number of issues with these records that may hold up archival research, including that many records have yet to be released by their respective religious orders or institutions. Many have to be translated from their original documentation in French, and many have to be digitized to make them accessible online. If you are waiting for documents to be available from the IRS under investigation, this does not mean you have to delay your investigation, however. You can still search documents from other repositories. There are many different archives that may hold useful information to the investigation of missing children. You may want to begin by finding out if your community has oral history records that may include recordings or transcriptions of accounts from survivors and their families. Furthermore, you could begin by looking up band membership lists and cross-referencing them with annuity lists to see if some members stopped collecting their distributions. Sometimes these documents also reference the IRS that members were forced to attend. Records from your band can also be used to cross-reference federal census records for birth, marriage, and death. Newspapers, local libraries, and museums may also have important information about the particular IRS hospital or sanatorium under investigation, perhaps related to the new building or infrastructure that may help your investigation understand the general layout of the school and areas where unmarked graves are more likely to be located. This is also true for municipal records and any close-by military bases. One of the major considerations of any investigation is going to be figuring out how to organize and store the data you are acquiring. A database like Excel will likely not be powerful enough to deal with the different sorts of information that you will be storing, and it doesn't have the capacity to host multiple users at once. With the new special interlocutor appointed and the new National Advisory Committee, more support will become available in the coming months to advise communities on archival interfaces and practices. In terms of additional considerations, do not underestimate the amount of time it will take to conduct archival research when you are applying for financial support. Not only will it take many person hours, but also other specialized storage systems and programs, and possibly travel and accommodations. It is important to be critical of the information and records you are reviewing and interpreting. These records were made by people with particular intentions, which may have been to conceal, minimize, or redirect the situation or reader. As previously mentioned, it will be important to cross-reference various sources to confirm cases of missing children. Finally, remember to try variations on spellings of people and places because of a variety of reasons, including colonizing practices and translations. Miigwech, and thank you for joining me for this module on archival research. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can do so at shazel3@uwo.ca.